Mortgage Monday, dialogue conversation to continue with the conventional loans. So you're talking to a borrower and they want a conventional loan, but it may not work, right? And there's a couple reasons why it may not work, okay? So what I'm about to go over is not the limitation. It's not the only things that we're restricted from working, but there's some possibilities that will prevent this one from working. So a credit score lower than 680. Well, Duke, you said they go to 620. I did. But once you get below 680, the credit score really affects two things: the interest rate and the mortgage insurance. And that mortgage insurance can double, triple, quadruple sometimes in worst case scenarios the closer you get to 620, especially on high DTI borrowers below 640. So those people probably should go FHA, because FHA is going to be a fixed cost for MI. No matter what, the MI is the same cost if you're at a 680 or if you're at a 700 or if you're at a 500 or if you're at an 800. They all have the same mortgage insurance rates. So you don't have to worry about that so much. Then let's say they need down payment assistance. A lot of your down payment assistance companies that offer true down payment assistance only want them to go with FHA. They don't want to go with conventional. There's restrictions. There's other things that go on top of it. And so they're more than likely you're going to hear, we don't work with conventional loans on down payment assistance. That's not everywhere. That's not always, but that's going to be the majority of the conversations that you have. Fixer-uppers that need a lot of work. No. Say that 3 times fast. If you have a fixer-upper and that property has a lot of issues, 203K may be better. That's not always the case, right? Sometimes you have houses with pools or extra amenities that FHA is like, look, we're not going to repair that. We're not here for the amenities. We're here for the home. Where conventional may want to play ball with that, but it may be the other way around. So home style renovation loans and those types of products can go either FHA or conventional. So look at both before you determine that the request from your buyer is the one that needs to go through. Because I try to remind everybody, this isn't Burger King, right? We are a boutique mortgage company that will give you the best recommendation for your program that you need, not always what the client is requesting. Because sometimes what the client is requesting is not what they need. It's just what they hear they want. Another thing, if the DTI is over 50% back end, you're not going conventional. And I don't care how high that credit score is, right? I don't care how much down payment they're putting down. Over 50% DTI, and you're not going to get unapproved eligible, and you're not going to run. Is there a manual underwrite for a conventional loan? Sure. Is there an ammo bearer in the military? Sure. Have we ever seen them? No. Most of the time, you're not going to do a manual underwrite for conventional loans. So if you're getting a refer eligible or any type of refer findings, you're not going to go conventional, more likely than not. Bankruptcy and foreclosure waiting periods are better for FHA, are better for USDA, are better for VA. So government loan may be better if your client has had a life event, okay? Bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sale, charge-off, collections, all those things can still be originated, but it may not be conventional. In self-employment, work is hard to prove income sometimes. I write everything off because I have a fabulous tax attorney. I write everything off because I am that type of buyer. I already know the loopholes. Trump taught me everything I need to know about income. Perfect. You're just not going to go conventional, because I can't prove on paper what you make because you wrote everything off. So there's a lot of reasons to go conventional: low cost, low rates, low MI, blah, blah, blah. But there's also other reasons to not go conventional. And those are just as important as the reasons to go. So slow down, take your time, work with your loan manager, work with your loan partner, figure out the path to righteousness that makes sense to your buyer. It may not always be conventional. That home may not always need to go conventional. There's always another way to skin the cat. All right, guys, Mortgage Monday. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, this is just a little nuanced conversation about a conventional loan. We're here every Monday to talk about them. See you on the next one.